Some truths come too late, not because they were hidden, but because you weren't ready to see them. And by the time you are, it's usually after something's gone. Time, drive, self. This isn't advice, it's reminder of what happens when you let days drift and call it survival. Most men don't collapse in one blow. They break in silence, little by little, trade by trade, comfort for clarity, numbness for peace. This video isn't here to motivate, it's here to cut, to show you what happens when you wait too long to become the man you were supposed to be. Let's begin. The cost of realization. Some lessons don't arrive when you need them. They arrive when it's too late, after the damage, after the silence, after the version of you that needed them is already gone. And that's the cost, not pain, not failure, but the version of you that could have lived better if only he had seen sooner. You don't wake up one day and realize it all. You wake up after too many nights of pretending, after too many mornings, feeling a little less like yourself. That's when it clicks, that the habits you laughed at are now your shackles, that the escapes you used are now your routines. No one tells you when you're wasting your life. No one shows up to stop you from becoming smaller. You just start noticing the difference between being busy and being alive, between being strong and being numb. And when that moment comes, there's no going back, no redoing the time, no refund on what was given away. But there is something. There's the man that rises from what's been lost. There's the you that isn't here to repeat, but to rebuild. This video isn't about guilt, it's not about shame, it's a mirror for the version of you that's still fighting to return, still willing to face the cost, so the future doesn't pay it again. These are 7 lessons, but they won't sound like advice. They'll sound like truth you already knew but didn't want to admit. Let's begin. Your body speaks first, before your thoughts fall apart. Your body already warned you. Before your confidence breaks, your posture bent, your grip loosened, your breath got shallow. We talk about mindset, but mindset is built on chemistry, biology, rhythm. You can't think like a warrior if your body feels like a prison. Discipline doesn't start in your mind, it starts in your blood, your hormones, your muscles, your spine when you stand, your hands when they shake, from too much screen and too little stress. You weren't built to sit, to scroll, to numb. You were built to move, to push, to break, and rebuild stronger. And every time you don't, your body remembers. It stores the weakness, it stacks the fatigue, and it slows you. Not in one big crash, but in daily losses. Microscopic surrenders that look like laziness, but feel like defeat. You don't need more motivation. You need more testosterone, more sunlight, more iron, more sweat that burns off the doubt. Because no one tells you this, but your willpower is not mental. It's hormonal, it's physical, it's rooted in how you eat, how you lift, how you sleep. You think you have a mindset problem, but you really just haven't felt strong in your own body in too long. Fix that, and the fog starts to clear. Fix that, and everything you thought was broken starts moving again. Because the man who neglects his body slowly forgets his power. You're not your urges. You're not weak. You're just untrained. The urge to click, the scroll, the instant hit. It's not you. It's the noise you haven't learned to ignore. And the longer you feed it, the harder it is to remember who you were. Before you needed constant stimulation, just to feel alive. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about dominance. Dominance over what pulls you, what hijacks your focus, what makes you reach instead of resist. You were born with strength, but strength without direction becomes a trap. They want you soft, distracted, reactive, because a man addicted is a man contained. And the worst addiction is the one that feels normal. Checking your phone before checking your mind. Grabbing dopamine instead of purpose. Here's the truth. You don't need to fight your urges. You need to stop worshiping them. Not everything you want is what you need. And not everything that feels good leads somewhere real. The man who cannot sit still is already a slave. to every screen, every curve, every algorithm that learns his triggers better than he knows his truth. You want power? Pull back. Breathe. Control your input, like your life depends on it. Because it does. The digital trap. It doesn't look like pain, but it's killing you slowly. You're not resting, you're escaping. From your purpose, from your discomfort, from your own potential. One more level, one more scroll, one more minute, spent on something that gives nothing back. You think it's harmless, but it's a trade, and the currency is your attention. You didn't waste time, you wasted presence. Because while your thumbs moved, your mission slept. While you chased fake wins, your real strength rusted. This is how men disappear, still breathing, but empty. Their ambition sedated, their focus hijacked, their fire cooled into quiet regret. Not because they didn't care, but because they didn't notice. Not until it was too late. You weren't born for pixels, you were built for impact. You weren't designed to be entertained, you were meant to build, to struggle, to win something that actually means something. But they don't want you strong. They want you comfortable, because a distracted man is easier to control than a dangerous one. So unplug, not to rest, but to return, to your war, to your clarity, to the self that's still waiting under the noise. Strength is spiritual. Your body is not for looks, it's for memory. A record of discipline, of every rep that hurt, and every morning you rose when no one was watching. Muscle is not vanity, it's a vow. Each scar, a signature. Each bruise, a receipt. That you chose to struggle instead of sink. Men without strength don't just get soft, they get lost. Because strength isn't only physical, it's directional. How you train is how you live. You skip the workout, you skip the hard conversation, you cut reps short, you cut corners in life, you stay comfortable, you stay small. This isn't about six packs, it's about your core and what you carry when everything else is stripped away. Discipline in the gym becomes discipline in your words, your choices, your silence. Because lifting weight teaches your nervous system that pain is not a threat, it's a tool. You think it's about body, it's about will, about refusing to decay, about meeting resistance and not flinching. Every time you train, you tell the world, I do hard things before they do me. And that's spiritual, because the man who commands his body commands his life. Don't ignore the storm. Not all wounds bleed, some just sit underneath the smile. Underneath, I'm fine. Some men are collapsing inside perfectly functioning lives. They work, they show up, they laugh, and yet they're drowning in a storm. No one else can see, because no one told them that silence can kill. That isolation isn't toughness, it's corrosion. And the longer you wear the mask, the heavier it gets. Until one day, you don't remember what your real face looked like. Mental strength isn't pretending nothing's wrong. It's knowing when to speak. It's having the courage to say something before it's too late. This isn't weakness, this is war. And your weapon is honesty. You don't need to cry in public. You don't need to explain everything. But you do need to stop carrying it alone. Because the truth is, no one's coming to rescue you. But someone might hold the light if you stop hiding in the dark. Stop ignoring the storm. It doesn't go away. It builds, it waits, it breaks when you least expect it. Face it now, while you still have the strength to fight. Not because you're broken, but because you're still here. And that means you still can choose. Don't perform, create. You don't need more applause, you need more purpose. Most men don't live, they perform. For likes, for praise. For eyes that don't even see them. They dress the part, say the right things, play safe, and slowly vanish inside the mask they built to survive. But here's the truth. Performance doesn't fulfill you. It drains you. You're not here to be understood. You're here to build, create something. Not to impress, but to express. Not to prove your worth, but to claim it. Let them scroll past, let them ignore, let them not care. You're not for everyone, you're for what lasts. Start the project. Write the line, build the body, craft the life that doesn't need an audience to mean something. Because validation is like sugar. It spikes you, then crashes you. But creation, it grounds you, feeds you, anchors you in your own story even when no one's listening. You want peace? Stop asking for permission. You want clarity? Stop trying to be impressive. You want freedom? Then stop performing. And start creating. Connection builds you. The lone wolf myth kills more men than failure ever will. Yes, solitude has power, but isolation has a cost. You weren't built to do this alone. Not every day, not every season. We grow in contact, in contrast, in the sharp edge of another soul that doesn't let us shrink. But you've been burned, used, drained by the wrong people, so you pulled back, closed the door, told yourself, I'm better off on my own. But strength isn't locking yourself in, it's choosing who you let in. The right connection doesn't slow you, it sharpens you. It sees you and holds you to your standard, even when you forget it. You don't need a crowd, you need a circle. One that speaks your name even when you're quiet. One that challenges your drift without breaking your peace. Because without others, you lose mirrors, you lose feedback, you lose the heat that forges your edge. Don't build a fortress, build a gate, and guard it with everything. Because connection isn't weakness, it's fuel, it's friction, it's the fire you can't make alone. Let the right ones in and become the man you couldn't be by yourself. Too late comes fast. You'll learn these lessons, all of them. The question is, will it be through regret or through rebuilding? There's no shortcut, only moments. Moments where you either choose discipline or delay, silence or noise. Your path or theirs. And the more you delay, the quieter your fire becomes. Until one day, you'll wake up in a body you don't respect, in a life you didn't build, surrounded by people you don't admire. But it won't be sudden. It'll be slow, so slow that you'll call it normal, until something inside breaks. But not today, because now you've seen it. The trap, the drift, the truth. You don't need more time, you need more truth, you need fewer lies about what matters, and more action toward what does. So choose one, just one. One chain to break, one step to take, one decision to make that your future self will whisper thank you for. Because the only thing worse than pain is realizing you were the one who kept it going. Start now. Don't wait for permission, don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait until it's too late. Too late comes fast.